There's another painted woman at the foot of the stage. Blue eyes, black thighs, you don't give a damn. As every cheek in this room prepares to give you a hand. Cheap beer and moonlight were never enough. Every time I cried wolf, you'd call my bluff. You'd start to call me more fashionable.
Hello.
I'd trim my
Hi, hi, hi. How are we doing? It's been so long. Oh, I sure did not update the projects text. I should do that. Hi, Stars. How you feeling? You wanna actually work with me here, Streamlabs, please? Thank you. Yes, laptop, I know you're struggling, but you're doing so good, baby. Just keep going. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Okay. We are working on ramen today. And we maybe are starting our new CIF stuff. The vent art that I might do, depending on how fast we get other stuff done, will go under the new leaf category. I'm doing pretty well. I modeled 2 days in a row this week, which was fun, but also my body was not a huge fan of that, which I kind of expected, but I still feel a little bit crummy, but I was really feeling bad for the past 2 days. I also woke up really early today and couldn't get back to sleep, so we got some weird energy, but that's okay. I did move where the light is, so it's now not in my face and not in your face because it's not reflecting off of the acrylic in the same way. So I think that's better and we can see better. I did have to reset stuff up, so if the camera looks weird again, please tell me and we can fix it. We should be able to leave this set up for a while now, so we shouldn't have to do that again. First things first, I got this cool cup. The mug that I use for my paintbrushes is very full, to the point that anytime I pick anything out of here, other stuff falls out, and it made me really angry. So we're adapting. I got this cool other little cup from Other Side Ceramics, who is doing a project of 1,000 pink cups this year. So I bought one of their cups because I really liked this one because it reminded me of the roses that I like to paint. So it felt like it was made just for me. So I'm gonna sit here and split my writing utensils into this one, and then the paintbrushes can stay in the felt cute today, might pretend to give a fuck mug. And hopefully that will ease one of the burdens of art making, which is me trying to pull things out of this. We also have new follower emotes today. They got approved by Twitch this morning. So we have a little shrimp, we have a little shrimpy, and we have some messy hands, and a no brain one, which I think I need to rework. But I had that idea and just decided to go for it. I think I want to put these guys in here because I use those with masking fluid. And I don't want to get my paintbrushes messy. That's so much better already. Just doing that has made a world of difference, and I love that. I think that the no brain one does not read very well. So I think I need to redo that one. But I'm really pleased with how the shrimp and the hands came out. I think I could probably work on making the hands one a little bit clearer. But I'm not sure how to do that, so I'll just think on it some more. For the no brain one, I'm thinking maybe like a skull open and flies coming out of it might be more readable in a emote format. I did do some art that was similar to that like forever ago in 2012. That's on my Tumblr. I don't have the original file anymore. So I might be able to copy that over and do that, because I was taking human osteology, which is the study of human bones, and it's so much work. It's so much work. And it made all of us feel like we didn't have a brain anymore. So I did, this is your brain on this, like this is your brain and this is your brain on osteo. Kind of joke. So let's tape this down because we're gonna do our ramen. That's our first steps, which involves some acrylic paint dragging. And when I did this last time, which was off stream, to do the ramen, I had some problems with it, and I ended up using a different kind of paper that I didn't like very much, which is part of why we're redoing it. So this is the paper that I did use, and you can kind of tell a little bit that it's super shiny, so it's kind of like plasticky, which means that stuff didn't stick to it the way I was expecting. So we're gonna try with some cotton paper this time, and I'm gonna alter what I did a little bit to see if we can get it to pull better. I do have 4 sheets of this paper ready to go, in case it doesn't turn out the way that I want the first time. But I'm gonna water down the acrylic a little bit so that it pulls easier. I'm gonna wet the paper, and we'll see how that goes. And if I don't like the way it's turning out, we do have the other kind of paper where I did like how it turned out, but we'll need to scrape some of the plastic off of it to get our toppings to stick. So first step is taping this piece of paper down. And if I talk too fast or didn't make any sense, feel free to ask questions. Always happy to answer. I don't remember how big of a border I did on the other one. Not that that really matters. Let's do this. I'll tape it down like that. Just a little bit of a thicker border will help out. I'll warn multiple times this stream. There is not going to be a stream next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. I am modeling 3 times next week, and one of those is on Tuesday, and I'm going to be sleepy tired and sore, so I'm going to just skip Tuesday. I might also skip Friday depending on how I'm feeling. Like I did before, I will update on all my socials. I will update the schedule on Twitch when I know how I'm feeling, because I do have a modeling session on Thursday as well. I did get to meet one of the other models this week, so that was fun. We just kind of ran into each other. Yeah, it's the end of the semester here, so we definitely are in the home stretch for this semester, and then I'll do next semester, I think, as long as they hire me back, which I think they will. Everybody seems to like me, so, and I keep getting told I'm doing a good job, so, which I wonder how much of that is like, this is such a stupid way to think. Part of me wonders if that's just because I appear nervous all the time, that they realize that they need to reassure me or I'm gonna cry or something, or if I'm actually doing a good job, which is like such a brain sabotage way to think, isn't it? I just realized that as I was gonna say it out loud. I was like, oh, that's not healthy. But yeah, I did one modeling session with my clothes on this week, which was exciting. But I've gotten to meet a bunch of cool people. So I think I'm doing well. I think one of the cool things about my body being a nightmare zone is that I'm very flexible in places that other people aren't. So I can sit in very strange positions that are comfortable to me, which makes things interesting. Also, one of the bonuses of being fat is that your body makes interesting shadows without you having to do anything because of fat rolls. So that's really cool, actually. I also had a different realization last night, but I think that's for a Tumblr post where I put most of it in the tags and not an on-stream situation. So we'll see if I run into that again tonight. And we're a little bit bright up here. Maybe if I turn you just a little, is that better? Now it's dark down there. No, I think it was better. I think it was better a little bright up top. That'll be fine. But yeah, so one of the modeling sessions this coming week is with somebody I haven't worked before. And it's a really late night one, so I might be late to things on Thursday morning. Because I'm not going to get home until like 10:15 at night, and I usually am in bed right after dinner and sit around and relax until my brain lets me sleep. So that's going to throw me off a little bit. The teacher, I sent emails to all the teachers like, hey, what are you expecting me to do? I have like a bunch of modeling sessions this week, so if you let me know what's going on, that will be really helpful to me, so that I can, do a good job for everybody and also not torque my hip out of the socket, And everybody was very nice, and the teacher on Thursday night was like, I'll be ready, standing by, ready to make you tea anytime you need it too, because I made a joke that I'd need a lot of caffeine to do the later night classes. So I thought that was pretty sweet, actually. So I'm gonna add some water to these. Did I show you guys these before? I don't remember. So I have these little squeeze bottles for the colors because I wanted a smaller stripe than what we were doing before. I do also need to sketch a bowl on here before I get started, but I'm going to throw some water in here to water down the paint so that it spreads a little bit better. And then shake them up a bunch and then sketch a bowl, I guess. That's the plan. I'm just using a plastic straw. You can barely even see that. A plastic straw to pick some water up out of here and put it into the containers. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what ratio I should be aiming for. I'm just making it up, as with many things in life. I also, on campus, I mentioned a couple streams ago that campus has a big old vagina sculpture. Well, really, it's a vulva sculpture in the arts building, and I took a photo of it to show you guys. Let me see where it is on my phone while I shake this up. I don't know if you can tell that I'm doing that. Oh, my hand's on camera. Yes, you can. How long ago was it? I've been looking up so many live model drawings and stuff to get ideas for poses that's like 90% of my phone right now. Oh, not that long ago, surely. Okay, I can tell that paint is moving around, so that seems good to me. I could probably test it on another sheet of paper before I did stuff, but also that seems like more work than I want to do. Okay. The sculpture in question. Ooh, cookies! What kind of cookies? And no worries, I'm just gonna ramble nonstop. So, it's a big wooden vulva, and there is a stone clitoris. And this has been in the art building since I since I started going to school there. It's just hanging out in the building. Just vibing. And usually there's a chair right here that's kind of like tucked back into a corner, and that's where I usually sit when I'm hanging out. Because nobody bothers you if you're sitting next to a giant vulva, I've noticed. I just did that one. I need to do this one. Oh, you are up top, huh? You gonna make a big bubble? Is that what's going on here, buddy? Ooh, that sounds delicious. Why are you doing this? Friend? Foe? It's just decided that it needs a little, like, muffin top. You gonna follow my hand now? No, you're gonna make a bigger mess than you need to. Thank you for that. That's so helpful. I, however, am prepared, and I have towels. washable towels. I bought a bunch of like really shitty shop towels for doing stuff like this. Oh, I know how that goes, Stars. Yeah. So these are not like good towels, but they're better for this kind of stuff than paper towels would be. Okay. Water, in you go. Please. Or don't, and just make more of a mess. That's fine too. There we go. I'm just gonna do this. I have more straws. That's not a big deal. The yellow and the ochre are the ones that I'm most worried about because those are noodle colors. So I do need those to be the most spreadable. I have red and black too to do the bowl. I was thinking I might want to do a design on the bowl, but maybe I don't. We'll see once I get everything else down. But I do need to, after I shake this up a bit, draw the bowl onto the paper, which I have a new tool that might help us. I got one of those funky compasses that are like blades that slide. I'm not going to be able to describe that well. I will show you momentarily after I get the massive amount of yellow paint off my hands. Or at least most of it. Because I would rather not have yellow paint on everything I own. Wild, I know. That's clean enough for me. Yeah, it's a cheapo one. Like the actual original version of one of these costs like $100. I am not gonna buy that. But it may be a little bit too small for this really, but I think it'll be fine. But there's like the little thingies here and then the blades slide out so that you can make different size circles. It is definitely cheap. And you can tell by how clunky it is to slide out and in. Somebody said that the bottom of the, like in the reviews, said that the bottom of these cut their finger. So that's something to be aware of too. But it definitely feels cheap. And this is going to be the moment, exactly this moment right now, where I regret having thrown away the old version of this. Because I definitely did that while I was cleaning up and I was like, I don't need it anymore. I don't need to worry too much about the graphite here because we're going to be covering it in acrylic, which is, I wish that I had drawn this on before I taped it down, but you know what? That's just how life works sometimes. Oh, is it? Let me do this. I literally had a ruler right next to me and grabbed a different ruler. I think there is about right. And I want to do like a lip on the bowl here. That's crooked. Is it crooked? Or am I just feeling like it's crooked? Thank you for falling over a giant stack of things. That was super helpful to me. You can't even see that. I do think that is crooked. Let's adjust here. This is part of the problem with the stream setup I have now. I really do not have the right angle on this stuff. I think that's better. I do want us to get out a little bit from the rest of the bowl. We're gonna do the noodles first, and then we're going to do the bowl so that I can have the noodles start up top without worrying about covering that up. So let's shake these up a little bit more. Maybe I do want to do this on a piece of scratch paper just to make sure it's not going to explode all over everything. What paper are you? I don't really use you. You work. So let's see how watery I made this. The tips on these are very, very small. So it is very much a precision practice. When I did this, and they may be full of paint still from the last time I did this. The last time I did this, I made my hand sore. I think that's a better texture than I had before. Yeah, but this is the issue that I had last time where once I ran out of paint, it kind of made these nasty marks that I didn't like. So we may need to do that and then do another set, and that sentence makes no sense. I can see what I'm talking about in my head, but that doesn't help you. So we may need to start with one, go halfway down and then redo the paint where the lines are and then continue. I'd rather not do that because I think it's going to leave a weird mark. That's gorgeous. Okay. This one could maybe use a little bit more water then, because that one is A+. So let's close that. So I do think I watched more just because I've been on Instagram a lot. I did watch more people doing this, and it seems like they definitely have watered down their paint quite a lot so that it spreads nicely, which makes sense. I just hadn't thought about it. I did not hook that on. That's fine though. Ooh, and I can spray water all over the place. That's great. Love that for me. All right, I think that's better. Maybe too much. We'll find out. This is very much a trial and error thing, but I get easily frustrated, so I don't want to do too much trial. There's definitely a video, because I took video of me doing these originally. This one is still just, I think the tip is maybe a little bit thinner than the other one, but there's definitely video of me doing this originally and cursing about it. So at some point I will probably release the video of me going, well shit, when I did it for the third time and it still wasn't working the way I wanted it to. Okay, here we go. These things are they're helpful, but they're also in the way. Can you? Thank you. Okay. This is going to be kind of a precision operation, but also kind of not. I do think that making this paint wetter was the right call. I was going to wet the page, but I think this might be okay. We'll see. I do have more paper. We can try again, and it's not that big a deal, other than me just being weird about it. But I think one of the areas of growth that I've really had this year is allowing myself to be more vulnerable with people. And one of those things for me is people being able to see how I'm doing art. That's one of the reasons why I didn't start streaming like as soon as I threatened to start doing it. Because the idea of people like seeing me sketch stuff and seeing me conceptualize makes me really nervous. Because I feel like, even though this is ridiculous, and I'm aware this is ridiculous, I feel like somebody's gonna come and go, well, you're doing art wrong, and so you should go away forever. Which, like, just isn't really a thing, and anybody who would do that is not somebody I want to spend time with anyway. So, like, I don't know, just had a weird mental block about it, which maybe comes from being bullied as a kid. I don't know. Because I was definitely a weird child, as many of us were. But you still have that, like, little fear voice in your head that brings that up every once in a while. Okay, I've changed my mind. I am gonna wet the paper. But farther down, like here, where I think that it's gonna start making that weird texture that I don't like. This paper isn't really supposed to be used with this much water, but you know what? YOLO. This may make it a bit sloppier, I don't know, but that's okay. We have, the background doesn't need to be like perfect lines or anything, because we have a more detailed and focused toppings to put on top. So this is really more of a background, so it can be kind of wibbly. Okay, we're about to pull the paint. Let's see. Let's see. Wish me luck. Can I remember how I did this before to get the texture that I liked? Ooh, I think too much yellow. I think much too much yellow. And I do think that that water was too much. Where did I? There it is. So much paint. Overdid it a little bit, I think. I think if I let that layer dry and then go over it again, I'll like it better. So I think we're gonna do multiple layers of pulling and see how that goes. I do want to make sure that that goes down here. There we go. So let me clean some of this up while we wait for that. I feel like there was something else I was gonna show, but I don't remember what it was. I think maybe I'm just making it up, and I was thinking about the emotes, which are already there. Okay, let's play how much paint can I get on the furniture. I do think the yellow is fine. I do think I wet the paper too much, and that's part of the issue here, because the places where I didn't wet the paper are better. So maybe I actually just want to redo this entirely. I changed my mind again. Let's go. So I think not wetting the paper is actually the right call. We'll see though. There's paint everywhere. Alright. I do think that maybe I added a little bit too much water to the yellow. So I might just want to mix that up a little bit heftier. And where's that? There it is. That's watercolor paper for the other thing. There we go. Okay. We try again. Let me sketch the bowl before I tape it down this time. that I can do a little bit more zhuzhing here. Thank you, Airplane, for being so incredibly loud. That's very helpful. And again, you can't really see the bowl because of the light. Right. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. There we go. Now we do the tape again. Is that enough space? Yes. Just barely though. Over here? Yes. I do think I don't need to push as hard down towards the paper when I'm pulling when I've liquefied the paint this much. That is also something to keep in mind. But maybe I just want to do... Well, I'm not finishing any sentences. I'm sure that's very helpful. That's not what I want to do. Oh man, my shoulders hurt. It's almost like I sat in weird positions that required my shoulders to work for 2 days in a row. And I got to try to explain to one of the students that, because I mentioned when I was modeling in the second class that I had to be careful, otherwise my hip might pop out. And I'm significantly older than these students were, most of them. And so one of them was like, it might just be your tendons. And I'm like, it is also my tendons, but I can actually feel it pop out. So if you guys hear a popping sound, it's fine. Please don't make a big deal. I'll fix it. It'll be okay. But one of the students very well-meaningly was like, oh, it might just be your tendon popping. And I'm like, my tendons also pop. But my left hip, especially if I do too much with the muscles around there, will pop out of the socket. I've started saying that, like, to explain to people, I'm like, all my joints are held together with overcooked spaghetti. That's the new saying that I've adopted. Because if I didn't realize that I had some hypermobility before, I sure do now. Because your girl's had hip problems since I hit puberty. And that includes what I now know to be my hips just deciding that they don't want to be connected to the rest of my body anymore. So that's fun. And by fun, I mean mildly horrifying. Okay, not wetting the paper this time, but I am... That is ochre. I'm going to use more ochre than I did before to do like a thicker area versus the yellow. Because this one is like, this paint is like the right texture for this, I think. I think the yellow is just a little bit too loose, but I might let it sit for a second before I pull it. That might help. But both of the younger teachers that I've worked with, I really like. They're cool people. I would like to hang out with them, not being a model. I mentioned in one of the classes that I had done an art minor because I was talking to some of the students before the class started, just like hanging out and, oh, what do you like to do, that kind of stuff. And mentioning that I hadn't been in the room we were supposed to use before because it was something else when I was a student. So they asked, like, what my major had been and stuff, and I was like, oh, I did a minor in art. I'm an artist too, but I did a major in anthropology and minors in art and history because I was planning to go into museum studies, and the teacher who was teaching that class looked at me with surprise and went, oh, I was going to do that too. I thought that was pretty funny. And it's nice to be around art stuff, even if it's people whose art I wouldn't interact with on my own. It's nice to be around art. I do really like, because really for modeling, you're just sitting there and thinking to yourself, which is one of my favorite pastimes. And to all those teachers who said that I couldn't succeed staring off into space and thinking about other things, ha, gotcha. But I think it's nice to just be sitting there doing that and listening to art sounds, because the sound of charcoal on paper is just like so nice. It's such a yummy sound. And I've never really used charcoals or mainly graphite, which is what they're using, which is fun. Because it makes really nice sounds. Okay, I think I maybe want to extend the ochre a little bit farther down, and we'll see how that goes. One of the teachers that I've been working with has a Twitch linked on his Instagram. I'm wondering how weird it would be if I like followed him and showed up. I don't know if that would freak him out or not. I do pretty well. Mostly because, so I just kind of treat it like meditation, which I don't meditate very well either, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't do it right. I'm bad at just focusing on my breath or whatever. I just kind of think about whatever I'm going to be thinking about, you know? So I just kind of do that. I pick a like a thing to look at in the distance, and I just sit there. But it's really, sorry, I think I just hit the mic. Apologies, I didn't mean to smack you. But I tend, you know that thing, that neurodivergent thing, where you're just like sitting there and you totally disconnect from reality for a while? That's basically what I'm doing, except I'm getting paid to do it. So this is one of those rare cases where the neurodivergent wins, and like it's an actual win. I'm gonna bring the ochre down on all these a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull it, I think. But maybe I want to let it sit for a second, I'm not sure. These squeeze bottles make my hands hurt. I didn't get like really nice squeeze bottles or anything. These were super cheap because I was like, I'm not going to be doing a lot of this, right? Like, I think it's cool, but I don't think this is going to be like my main medium ever. The thing I'm having problems with the modeling stuff is coming up with poses. Like, I keep trying to come up with stuff that's interesting, but I don't think that that's really like a big deal, all things considered. Because like the point isn't to be interesting. Like if I was doing modeling for like a specific artist who had a specific something in mind, that would be different. But I'm just doing this so that people can learn how to do it, which I need to like let that into my brain so that it lets off some of the pressure, I think. Ooh, glow in the dark paint. That's fun. I do have some stuff that fluoresces under black light, which a lot of just like normal paints does. A lot of yellow, if you put it under black light, will fluoresce. And I've done some stuff with that before. I need to find a place to put my water that like isn't in the way, but I can still access. I think that works. Okay, here we go. Try number 2. Well, let's just really try like number 6 if we count everything, but it's fine. Okay, I am much happier with that. I'm okay with that. That looks good. It looks a little bit more, what's the word? Distinguished? Different? I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. It looks better in person, but that's normal. It may be that it's getting bright enough that I can actually turn off the light or turn it down. Okay. So I need to let that dry before we do anything else, which involves me just sitting around for a little bit. Oh, I didn't bring my sketchbook out here. That's what I forgot. Because we do have my color for this month's Color in Focus. My patrons have voted. We're doing New Leaf, which is a nice, bright, springy green color. And I have a couple ideas for that. I have a piece of art from a conversation I was having with somebody in a Discord yesterday that I think I want to do something with. Just like a quick, not thinking about it too hard kind of piece of art. Today, if I'm feeling up for it. We'll see how long sitting up works for me. Oh, I guess I could wipe this portion of 2 off of it. I could also get paint literally everywhere. I'm trying so hard to not get paint on the new couches, but when my dad bought us new couches, he picked out like really light colors, and not the greatest choice, in my opinion. Which I think it was just like what was available. But who wants like white colored couches? Doesn't that make you nervous? It makes me nervous. I'm gonna get paint on them at some point, but what I really need to do is just buy covers for them, but that involves measuring them and stuff, and that's just felt inaccessible to me lately. Because demon brain. What was I saying? I already forgot. I don't know. Cookies are cooling. Success. Man, I kind of want cookies now. I mean, I rarely turn down a cookie, but yeah, they're like very pale, which is a concern. Especially since I'm like leaning up against one doing art at the moment. But I have both of them within my line of fire. If one of these paint buckets explodes, there will be no survivors. I also want to cover the pillows that came with them, because like the cloth is it's made to be durable, so it's kind of rough, but that's not super comfy, you know? So I kind of want to cover the pillows with something else. I'm just wiping a bunch of yellow paint off my hands. That's what's happening right now. I should, now that I've done that, let's touch the paint again. Great planning there, Katie. Put the little, I don't know, needle tip condoms? I don't know what else you'd call that. These things. Oh, I put that on upside down. Oops. Put those things back on. Oh, new stickers are coming soon. That's something we haven't talked about yet. I did mention I was ordering more stickers last Friday, I think. All the proofs are approved, so they're going into production and they'll ship at some point. I didn't pay for Rush or anything, because the sticker company I use, Sticker Ninja, they had like a big sale, and so they were going to have like a lot of work to do, and so I made sure to leave a note where I was like, this is not a rush. I don't need this in any specific time frame, so please don't break your butts over my account. But all of my proofs were done like super fast, so I got in pretty early too, because that was another day where I woke up early and couldn't get back to sleep. So I woke up at like and got my order in at like 9 o'clock, which is like when they open, I think. Because I was prepared. Okay, that part is dry. This part is not going to be dry. Let's see if I can do this a little bit. Just to limit the possibility of me sticking my sweatshirt sleeve into this. Okay. I should set up a new coffee goal, shouldn't I? Probably. I would also like to make it so that I could figure out another stream time when I can't do my normal days, because I am planning on staying with the modeling. It is a temp position, which means that I have to take 3 months off after a certain amount of hours worked, no matter what. But if I'm going to keep doing this, I would like to figure out a way that it doesn't completely impact my streaming schedule, which I think might be like false hope, just because I live in a body that doesn't like to do things. But I don't know, we can try, figure it out. Okay, let's see here. What paintbrush do I want to use for this? You're probably a little bit thickums for that. Maybe you? There's the one I was looking for. Okay, so the bowl is going to be red, just like the other one was. And for that bowl, I did like really thick paint so that the brush strokes kind of made the shadows for me, which I might do with this too. I think we're going to start and then we'll see how I'm feeling. I'm going to take off this thing so that it doesn't drag through the paint. And I could go and get like the actual bottle of paint and do this in a way that was smarter, but I already have this in here. So like, we're just gonna do it this way. And this is like barely connected to this handle anymore. Oh, I did post this on socials, but I don't know if you guys saw my Spotify Wrapped this year. The streaming music made a very bold appearance, which I was a little bit surprised by. Like, I understand that I haven't listened to as much music outside of stream this year, because I've been always busy or tricking my brain into being functional by hanging out in a stream, which counts as body doubling for me. But my top song was actually the song that I start every stream with, which was interesting. All my top artists, not all my top songs, but all my top artists are from the stream playlist. My number 5 was the one that I had to take off of the stream playlist because YouTube didn't like it. But I still do listen to that album when I'm reading, which I have read like a lot more this year. I actually finished 2 graphic novels this morning. They were bad, which I expected, but I didn't expect them to be as bad as they were. Yeah, I just use the same song every day from Young Bae, which if you do, I think if you just do exclamation point playlist in the chat, it'll pull up my Spotify playlist that I made for streaming. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of audiobooks too, especially when I'm like playing games, because I almost never listen to in-game sounds if I can avoid it. With indie games, I'll try the soundtrack. Like I'll start playing with the soundtrack going, but if I don't think that it really adds anything, I will just go back to an audiobook. Although really I haven't. Lately, I have been just listening to the Hunger Games on repeat because I kind of hit my brain limit this year. I was doing like really good only doing new media, or mostly doing new media, and then other stuff happened, and then my brain was just like, nope, we need to not be focusing on that right now, which I gave myself that space. And even doing that, I still have read more books this year than I have in like the past 5 combined. So, because I finished, let's see, with the 2 that I finished this morning, that's going to bring my finished book total up to 67, I think. And I am reading an actual like other book. Well, I guess I'm reading 2 technically at the same time, because one of them is like not too intensive. One of them is a self-help book, which is like, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's not an easy read, I guess is the way to put it, because it involves some introspection and I guess hard things to come to terms with is a way to put it. But it's relatively short. I should be able to finish it in the next couple days, which is good. If I can remember, I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but I will look it up on my phone in just a second. But the title is Drama Free, and it's about dealing with unhealthy family relationships. Which has been, I don't know, reassuring in a weird way to read it, because there are definitely some portions of the book where I hear, or I guess read, something that I heard a lot as a kid, and or you know those sentences that like didn't mean anything to the person who said it to you, but have wormed their way into your brain and are a central part of who you are as a person in a bad way. There's one of those in there for me, so I had a bit of a cry about that last night. And like, I think it's important to do that kind of work, but that doesn't make it easy or pleasant, you know? I think that this bowl is like hella messy. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but I don't know that I'm actually fixing it by continuing to mess with it. May go over this with, since we aren't using the plasticky paper, I should be able to go over this with the acrylic paint pen too for the edges, so I should probably just stop messing with it. Let me rinse off this paintbrush and then I will look up that book title. So there is a bit more texture. There's less texture than on the other one that I did, but I do think that that's enough texture to establish that there's a rim of the bowl. Why did you guys send me the same email twice? Okay. I was looking up the author and the full title. I can do that. Drama Free, A Guide to Managing Unhealthy Family Relationships by Nedra Glover Tawwab. If anybody's interested in that. And the other one I'm reading is like an easier book. It's like a history book. well, easier emotionally, I guess. History is not always easy for people. But it's basically like the history of the home, and talking about how like our home layouts came to be the way that they are and how that relates through like the Middle Ages and stuff like that. Specifically, the book is British, because the author is British, but it's still pretty interesting to learn like the history of toilet paper and stuff like that. I find interesting in a fun way. And for the most part, it isn't horrifying. Although I did post a quote that was mildly horrifying on Tumblr day before yesterday, I think. But that's If the Walls Could Talk by Lucy Worsley. And the reason that I got it was because I read another book from Worsley. And I really liked it. It was the Art of the British Murder, which is about death culture, I guess, around horrific crimes and how people have started treating those. Well, it's not really started, showing how people across time have treated them as like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's gone. As like a sideshow. That's not the word that I really mean, but that's what my brain's coming up with. Kind of thing. So as like sensational, which I found very interesting. I find true crime stuff interesting, and looking at the history of like the crime behind the crime is also interesting. I just noticed that one of the paints out of my travel kit had popped out again. So I'm gonna stick that back in with some more paint while I'm waiting for this other stuff to dry. You're ultramarine. That's gonna be why you popped out. I understand now. But that one is like nice to read a tiny bit and then go to bed, because each of the chapters are like very small and contained. Like they all can overarch and connect, but it's a little bit more individual, if that makes sense. I don't know that I am making any sense at all, but such is life. You go back into your little prison. Thank you. I think that's the only problem with this travel palette, is that since the wells are plastic, they don't have any grip to them. Which means that sometimes when the paint's dry, they decide they don't really feel like hanging out anymore. I can also clean up this mixer here while I'm sitting here. I considered just playing ACS today. But then I didn't, because that involved more thought than I wanted to put into something. Ooh, excuse me. All right, clean. And I will shut you so that no other pieces fall out. How about that? I do wish that the clip actually fit over the whole thing instead of just in the divot. That would make my life easier. But it's got magnetic closure, so like it's fine. Okay. Next step for this is gluing our ramen pieces on. But this portion isn't dry yet. I'm not sure if I want to do a pattern on the bowl or if I just want to leave it and have the ramen toppings be the real focus. So I think the right answer is to put the ramen toppings on. This is glue, that's why I'm pulling that out. Put the ramen toppings on and then decide if I want to do anything else with the bowl. I might just leave it Because it does, I don't know, it does still feel messy. Maybe I wanted to do that in watercolor and I would have felt better about it, but it's fine. So we have like a lot of little ramen toppings that I need to not put on the wet paintbrush because it's watercolor. So I think the correct order is to lay these out a little bit because I think that I did make like way more of these than will actually fit on the sheet of paper. Which was kind of the point so that I could pick and choose stuff. But kind of lay these out a little bit and then glue them down. Because we do have some bigger ones and then we have some smaller ones, so. So just kind of puzzle this out a little bit. I do think I like this egg better than that egg. So let's put you over here. You also have some nori strips to fit in here. And I do just have like a basic glue pen. So it's clear glue. It will shine a little bit if I get it off the edges of stuff. But it shouldn't be that bad. Let's throw some scallions in here. Oh, green onion, same difference. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just not gonna like this piece. Like, I'm glad that I retried it, but I'm still just like, I don't know, I don't feel it. I like the concept, I don't like the execution. Sometimes things are just better in our head than they are when we actually do them, and that's just the way life is. We have some little chili flakes here to put in. Maybe I do want, I want the other burrito up here. So we do have, let's see, more mushroom. We definitely have more green onion that we can put in. I was going to scan these in and maybe make it a shaker charm, but I don't like it enough to do that, I think. Like, I don't hate it, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to diss on my own thing. I just think that my idea, like in my head of this, is always going to be better than what I can actually accomplish. Some more of these scruggly guys. Some of these I cut edges off to make them like less straight round. I think that gives it a little bit more visual interest. I didn't do that for all of them because I just like ran out of steam on it because it was a lot. And I was like, I'm not going to use all these, it's fine. And I was right. I think a couple like plain round ones is fine, but it also would help if I had not cut off all my fingernails this morning. I think a mushroom up here. I think you go right there. I was gonna like come up with an idea for the name of the ramen shop and put it on the bowl, but I don't know. I was thinking like bowl runneth over, but that's so stupid. I say that with affection for my own work. I wanted it to be like a pun, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted. Let's put you down here. Let's put you up here. So I think that it does look like ramen. I don't know that this is my favorite piece I've ever made, which is fine. It doesn't need to be. But I do have extra toppings. Don't know what I'll do with those. I kind of want it more seaweed farther down. that. Like that. Okay, I think that's good. I think I'm all right with that. Let me put the extra toppings back in the bag. What will I do with these? I do not know. They'll probably sit around for a year until I decide that I don't need them anymore. Although I've been better about throwing stuff away. There's nothing like going through somebody else's stuff to make you realize how little it matters how much stuff you hold on to. Honestly. Okay. We're gonna start gluing stuff. The paper is still a little bit buckled, so I might grab a book to set on top of this. But I can't do that until that's dry, so maybe we're just gonna sit here and stare at it for a little bit. I'll make some stars probably. That seems like a good call. Let's use some of these weird shiny pieces that don't fit in with anything else. These are like pearlescent paper that I got for a specific task that is well past done. But we can do some of those. They're a little bit thicker than the regular paper. I think this is one of the papers that I got that's quilling papers, like it's supposed to be quilling paper. Because that's one of the ways you can get cheap paper that's already cut in the right size. I think having some different sizes of stars in the bucket looks nice. This will be, I'm realizing now, more difficult since I cut my nails, because I usually use my pointer fingernail to fold those in. But alas, I have no pointer fingernail anymore. I was thinking I might paint my nails this weekend, but I'm probably gonna not do that. I keep thinking that. I like having my nails painted, but it also takes time and means that I can't work on my other tasks while they're drying, which makes life difficult. Feels like it should be later than it is, but that's probably just because of the sun angle. It's weirding me out. It's one of the things about Alaska is like you get used to a certain time, meaning how much light, and then it's just absolutely gone within a week. Young They was actually my #1 artist on Spotify this year, which meant I got to see the little message that they record for you. Some artists do that and some don't. I don't know if like only certain artists are allowed to do it or are asked to do it or what. I don't know. But that was exciting. You are still blobby. I guess I can put a book on like the bottom portion and it would be fine. But maybe I should not worry about getting this stuff to it today. You know, I would kind of like to be done with it because it's just kind of been sitting there staring at me for so long. Man, I can tell I haven't been talking as much. I do sit and chat with the students when I'm modeling, but like, it doesn't take much time. Oh, okay. So maybe only like if you have a certain amount of listeners, they contact you to record one. I don't know. That would make sense, it being Spotify and all, and them only paying certain percentage of artists, which is unfortunate. It's a good business model if they would, stop shitting on creatives, which like the whole world should stop shitting on creatives. But oh, it should be Bandcamp Friday today too, actually. So if you have any music artists you like on Bandcamp, you can go buy their stuff today and all the money goes to them instead of any of the fees going to Bandcamp. Which is good that they kept doing that. They started doing it during lockdown, during COVID lockdown. And I'm guessing that it really increases their business because they've kept doing it. It's the first Friday of every month. The reason that I think about that is because ACS, which is one of the artists on this playlist, released something new last night when it changed over to midnight in their time zone. Stars. I'm just gonna finish the papers that I pulled for this. And then I'm gonna try to glue this and we'll see how it goes. I think it's close to dry enough that it won't be like a huge issue. I may mess with the bowl off stream just because I need to let that bottom layer like completely dry. And there are some clogs, so it'll take a little while. So I may mess with that bowl somewhere, I don't know. Or maybe I'll just leave it. It's like I said, even though this is turning out more like how I envisioned, it's still not exactly up to the caliber I would like, I guess. But I'm glad I gave it another go. I also petered out really bad last month on the Gratitude 30 challenge, so I might go back to some of those prompts because I would like to finish it. I just, with the modeling and stuff and the scheduling confusion around that, I just really did not have the brain power to keep messing with that. I think maybe I just need to like try to do a little painting a day or something when I'm feeling up to it instead of doing like somebody else's prompt list, just do whatever I'm feeling. I do want to redo the gummy bear one that I did. I would show you, but I didn't bring out my sketchbook today. Because I enjoyed doing the gummy bears. And I think that would be a cute print if I did a bigger version of it. I also have a big ass bag of gummy bears right now, so yeah. I thought they were pretty cool. I also just bought like a 5-pound bag of Albanese gummy bears, and we're actually going through them pretty fast because I bring those as a snack for when I'm modeling because they're like super fast to eat. Just shove a couple in your mouth and you're good to go. Oh, thank you, piece of paper. That was really helpful of you. And just, have some sugar as a little treat. Ugh, my hip is still like being a butthole. I don't know what I did to it, but I tweaked it worse than normal a couple of months ago and it's still acting up. It's not comfortable. Maybe I pinched a nerve or something. I don't know. All right. More stars in the bucket. Okay, let's start gluing and see how this goes. So this is just like a basic glue pen, but it has two sides. So it has like a pen tip and then it has like a broader tip. This is Tombow brand, which I've used these ones before and they're pretty good. But Tombow is a pretty commonly used brand for like bullet journaling, fancy bullet journaling and stuff like that. Which I actually need to set up this month in my bullet journal because I definitely haven't. I was so burnt out this past month that I just stopped doing anything. I haven't done a daily tarot. Thank you, mouth. A daily tarot draw like I've been doing for literal years. In a while. I just stopped doing everything because I was so tired. But I think it's better for my mental health if I make myself do that. You know what I should do? After I put this down, I'm going to take a photo so that if I bump something, I know where it goes. Maybe I also want to record myself gluing these down on my phone. Which kind of defeats the purpose of taking a photo a little bit. It will give me some content for the next couple days. I also slowed down pretty hard on Instagram and stuff because I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Let's see. Right up there. Seems good. Will you stay put? We'll find out. I guess, yeah, this is curling. I'm probably going to need to put a book down on it. Which I know exactly which book I'm going to do. Because let me tell you, I may not have gone into archaeology, but the money that I spent on my human osteology book has been very useful for doing art. Probably should do the pen tip for these little guys. We'll see how much other desk detritus I end up gluing to this. I need to make sure that they aren't on the tape too. We'll see how well they stick. I might need to pull them back up and rough up the paper underneath a little bit. Because I didn't really test any of this stuff out. But that's okay. Because part of the point of this is a little experiment. Hey, Bean! And yeah, heck yeah, tired beans assemble. Anybody else ready to lay face down in a bog for a decade? Because, bog body is really looking like my next career. Yeah, that's curling real bad. I need to get everything down before I can slap a book on it anyway, so. Try to get that done and then I'll go grab that book. Yeah, we got new follower emotes. So we got a shrimp in. And how did I have this set down? I already forgot. Pulled it up and immediately forgot. Do it like this, I think. Yeah, that seems right. We'll see how much glue I get on everything else. Because so far it's quite a bit. Maybe when I've been smarter to do some of that foam adhesive tape that makes stuff kind of stand up off the page. I use it for greeting card design a lot, but I kind of wanted it to be flush with the painting since the I know words. I already lost my train of thought. Never mind. We're just gonna let that one go. Oh, that's exciting. I can understand why you're nervous, but hopefully it will go well and you can get some more of the help that you need. Or just some affirmation, I guess, that Well, I was going to say that it's not all in your head, but like it is all in your head. You know what I mean, though. I know you know what I mean. Gosh, this curl's so bad. Yeah, it's always nice to just get that affirmation that, you know, you were right, I guess, is really what it comes down to. I have so much glue on my hands right now. I think I have enough glue that I don't even need to pick up the brush. I can just use my finger. Boop. Can I get it back off my finger? Just barely. Didn't glue you down. I think I need to wipe my hands, honestly. That's a little bit better. Blue pen is dripping. That's super helpful of you. Thank you. You're glued down. You're glued down. You're not glued down. May end up needing to re-glue these. Like just get them down a little bit and then glue them down again and put a book on top like immediately. We'll see. So again, this is mixed media in a way that I haven't done before. But once we get this done, we can move on to the real feature of the day, which isn't going to take very long either, but I would like to do it. So, which is a quote from somebody I was talking to yesterday who has given me permission to make art out of it. And I have the full quote in my actual phone, which is recording me right now, so I can't actually pull it up. But it was something like, if you're stubborn enough to die this way, that's a you problem. And I don't know, we were talking about some stuff that was frustrating me yesterday. People were very nice about letting me have a space to vent and feel supported, but that resonated with me hardcore. So I asked for permission to make it into an art, and I think that's what we're gonna do after this. Because I did want to get the ramen checked off of the list. Because it's just been sitting there, well, the proverbial list. It's not... You can tell how tired I am because I have not made a list this month, actually. That's how you can tell how burnt out I am. I have not made a list about what I need to do this month at all. Or last month, really. I kind of petered out halfway through and stopped keeping track of any of my lists, which are what keep my brain going. That, yeah. So, what I really need to do is go to therapy. But aside from that, I need to because I really do like the momentum thing. So once I stop doing something, it's very hard for me to start back up again, and vice versa. Just a little bit there, buddy. So I need to get back on top of all of that, which often feels very overwhelming, even though I know it really isn't that overwhelming because I've done it before. But that seasonal affective disorder has you thinking that there will never be sunshine again. And there will never be a functional brain again. I mean, as functioning as my brain ever is. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I guess I don't really need to make sense either. There, I talked myself out of it. I don't need to make sense. It's fine. Ugh. I just stuck my entire thumb in that paint blob. That's okay. I maybe should have gotten like tweezers or something to do this with. That maybe would have been like the smarter move. But I really don't need to be buying more supplies. I say, as I have more art supplies sitting in my cart. I did glue you down. You just look funny. Alright, I think... Did I glue you down? No. Okay, these two guys, and then when everything's glued down, and I will go grab a book and flop it on top. I think the acrylic is mostly dried now. There's a little bit of a blob that I can see that still has some damp to it, but not bad. Alright. All of those have popped up so bad. That's okay. You can stop recording. Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna go get a book. I'm not gonna put on the BRB screen or anything. I'm just gonna wander off and you guys can hear me walk around the house for a second. Ooh, I have just realized that maybe I can't get to that book that I was thinking of. We're gonna find out. Things have moved since the last time I used it, so it might be difficult to get to. So you guys can just hear me struggle. That's fine too. As if you aren't hearing me struggle literally all the time when I'm streaming. Because you know what? Life is a struggle. Maybe I can get to it. I can! Success! And if this gets paint on the back of it, that's fine. Or glue, for that matter. Alright. Big ol' bone book. Okay, you all play nice. Oh god, that's such a mood bean. I've been having a lot of trouble with focus lately, which is partially just because I'm really tired from doing physical stuff when I haven't done that in a long time, and dealing with an unknown schedule for a lot of the time, which is difficult for me because I don't know if you guys knew this. I have brain weasels. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there for a little bit. I'm gonna take a quick break and do a proper stretch and replace my water because we're gonna do watercolor next. And yeah. Oh yeah, Bean, that happens all the time. Half of cleaning is getting distracted by all the stuff you find. That's just how it works. So I'm going to take a quick break, which means I'm going to run some ads. So if you don't want to deal with those, look away or whatever, or subscribe, I guess. I guess I should be plugging myself like that, but I don't like it. And I'm going to go wash my hands and stuff and be right back. I return. I'm tempted to lift this up to see how it's going underneath, but I know that if I leave it there, it's gonna do better. So I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit, I guess. Hang out. I guess I could start doing some sort of sketch. Sorry, I'm putting away my my little thingy-ma-bopper. I don't even know what to really call this. It's like an overcomplicated compass, I guess. Circle tool? I don't know. I guess it would also make sense to maybe grab a piece. Oh, all my scrap paper is in the other room because I'm bad at planning ahead in some instances. I have definitely gotten a lot looser about streaming in a way that I think is mostly good, but sometimes it means that I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out when I go live, and then I stand here looking like an idiot for a while. Which you can't see me, but just know that I look like an idiot sometimes. I can move a bunch of these writing tools into my new cup. Let's do that. I did get a new cup to hold things. I'm a cool ceramic artist. Then I can fill that up and need to buy another one. That's how it works, right? I do need like a, I don't know, it'll be better once I have like an actual setup, but I could use some place to like put rulers and stuff like that, and like this nasty thing and my erasers and stuff. Yeah. Distracted? Always. I guess I do want these two erasers out when I'm working on this. I don't know if I'm going to do a sketch for this. I am definitely for the words themselves so that I know where I want to put them. Which that's what I was saying a second ago. I was saying I was going to grab these scrap paper to write the words down on, but I think we can live with me looking at it off of my phone. I think we can manage that. Let me read the actual quote. I'm not going to show it to you because it has people's usernames on it. It is. If you're stubborn enough to die this way, that's a you problem. And my idea, so the color of the month is New Leaf, which is a bright kind of spring green. So my plan is to have two flower pots next to each other. One is going to be growing, and there's going to be a bloom up here. And one is going to be like a half-dead kind of viney plant that has its vines wrapped around the base of the other plant. Does that make sense? I think it does. I think I made sense. I don't know where I was going with the rest of that sentence, but that's basically what it is. So, yeah. I've also been planning some other stuff for the new leaf color because I was pretty sure it was going to win the poll on my Patreon. So I was already thinking about it. I do want to do like a sticker sheet this month, I think. For like little green guys, just little dudes that are for bullet journaling. So I want like a little frog guy with like a thing that says hop to it and then a list underneath for like a to-do list kind of vibe. And maybe I'll order like stationary like notepads of those. I don't know. We'll see how I feel once I finish them. But I was thinking, so like hop to it was the one that came to my mind immediately. But I was also thinking like, I don't know, little congratulations stickers you can give yourself. So like maybe a little alien saying you're out of this world or something. I want the vibe to be very much like a combo of cottagecore bullet journaling and those good job stickers that the teachers used to give you in the 90s. I want like a mashup of that. That's the vibe I'm going for. Yeah. I don't know that I have anything else to say about that. I also want to do maybe another terrarium, but maybe in a different shaped jar this time. I think I want to do a snake skull in it with some plants. And we'll do a quilt block. That's a given at this point. And other than that, I don't know. Maybe something else will come to me. But I think those three are a good start. And the one that I'm doing today, so I guess that's 4 technically. Right? I did say 4. Yeah. Okay, I'm lifting the book. I can't be patient anymore. Let's see if that helped. It did help. It helped so much. I love you, Human Osteology book, even though you cost $350. That flattened everything out so beautifully. Okay. We're gonna tape peel, and I'm not going to sign this one yet. I'm gonna go back to it maybe tomorrow and see how I feel about it. And see if I want to do something more with the bowl, or if anybody comes up with a good ramen shop name pun to put on the bowl. Because the original idea for this was like a sign. So if you come up with a shop name, let me know. This paper is like really prone to tearing with the tape, which is why I'm going slow. I could hair dryer it, but I also kind of don't want to do that. So I don't think it's a huge deal if the paper tears a little bit, because I don't even know if I'm gonna sell this one, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Like, I think it's fine, and I think it came out in a way that was expected for what I did, but I don't know. I'm not, like, thrilled with it like I normally am when I finish something. Although I guess it isn't technically finished yet, so. So that may change my opinion once I add more stuff to it. I do think the bowl is boring, so I'll probably do something with it, but I'm not sure what yet. I might just use the black acrylic pen that I have and go over that and put like a little sign on the bowl. But I also feel like that's maybe too stereotypical. I don't know. I'll need to think on it more, I guess. But for now, that's our guy. We did it. We finally glued the ramen toppings to the ramen. Only took us 2 months. It's fine. I guess not a full 2 months, a month and a half. I'm working on it on and off for a while. I'm gonna set that there for now, and let's start sketching out on a new sheet of paper for the thing. I guess I do probably want to sketch out. Do I actually want to tape this down? I think I don't want to tape it down. I think I want to swing it around like crazy. I do want to sketch this out, but I probably want to do it in colored pencil so that it doesn't show up as intensely. Because like, something like this. That may be a little bit too close to the edge. I think maybe it's light enough out now that I can turn off this light. So let me see if I can do that really fast after I finish getting my thought out for that pot. It's possible that when I turn this off, it's going to make the camera cut out for a little bit. I don't know why it does that, but it really does. So don't freak out. It'll be okay. It'll come back. So let's see how this is. That's still a little bit dark. Yep. It does that every time. I really don't get it. Girl, get it together. That was me talking to my camera. I am going to turn the light down a little bit, but I do think that it needs a little bit of light more than the out of doors. But I don't want the flower pots to be identical. I do think that I want this flower pot, the one that's dying basically, to be kind of cracked and messed up. I'm not going to tell you guys what the vent art is about. I will tell you that it is vent art about something, but I won't get super into it because even when we need to do vent art, that doesn't really mean that we need to air everybody's dirty laundry out all the time, including mine. And if it resonates with you, it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's fine. You can make it about whatever you want to make it about. I know what it's about for me. So we're going to do some cracks in this pot. I maybe should have done orange for the pots just to separate it, but we're doing green for the most part, so. Let's do some more here. I think I want a heart missing right there. Okay. And I could look up a reference for some of these plants that I'm like thinking of in my head, but I really don't think that that's gonna add anything to it. I'm not trying to make this like an award-winning piece of art. I'm trying to just make something that gets the feels out. So I could, like, if I was doing this seriously, I would probably research plants and try to figure out what a good allegory was, but nah. I think I'm just gonna do kind of like a basic shape sketch and then do the rest of it in just straight watercolor just to kind of give it a looser feel. Just because I want to, I guess. I only vaguely conceptualized this last night. I didn't really think it completely through, if you couldn't tell. But I do want a flower up there, and I think I want the words to go right here. Not that you can really see any of this. That's the problem with the light sketches. They don't pick up on camera very well. I already lost track of what I was thinking. Oh, flower. Do I want one that's like snowbell kind of shape, pointing down? Do I want like a sunflowery vibe that's not even looking at the other plant? I think I want a sunflowery one kind of pointing up, so I need to change this a little bit. And we can use my fancy circle tool again. Gotta get my $8 worth. How big do I want this? Maybe about there. The only problem with this is that you can't see where, like if these are clear, it would be a lot easier, I think, like a lot better tool. Because I can't see where I'm putting that in the circle. That's fine. Would have been smarter to do the bigger circle first, but you know, or the bigger circle last, I mean. Hello, magpie. There's a magpie right outside the window. Also would help if I was like at an angle where I'm actually above my art instead of looking at it flat on, but hey. So I'm gonna plot out the flower. I actually want to put some guide marks here. I don't need it to be perfectly symmetrical, but this helps a lot when you're plotting out petals, especially if you don't have a reference and if you're just making it up like we are today. Will help keep things pretty even. Not, again, that you can really see that, can you? But and I just got a random Crucible quote, like rattling around in my head just then. That's something. I know where it came from, just one of those things you read in school that really like changed your brain chemistry, I guess. For me, at least. I'm not sure what color I want to make the flower. That's another something to think about. I'm probably going to go with pink, even though I'm not like a huge pink fan. But since the rest of this is going to be green, it'll pop really nice. And as we discussed last month with purple, I love me some complementary colors. And I really have like not done any art this week. Been doing a lot of background stuff, so I've got listings ready for all the purple stuff. I've been doing sticker prep, all that kind of stuff, but I haven't like sat down and created anything this week, I'm realizing. Which happens when I'm tired, honestly. Like if I'm the right, this is such a weird thing to say, but I think people will get it. If I'm like the right level of depressed, I make a lot of art. But I have not been that vibe lately, just because I'm like more tired than actually depressed, you know? So one of the things about depression is it really traps you in your own head a lot, and sometimes, for me at least, that means that I think vaguely poetically and I think about colors and stuff like that, which lends itself to making art, especially if I'm trying to use it as a coping method, which I often do. But if I'm tired enough, I don't actually think like that. My brain is just mean to me and tells me all the things I've done wrong in my life. Which I think is more the track that I have been on. But like, I'm fine. I'm okay. I have good coping methods now. I have a good support group. I'm all right. It's just patterns that you notice. And I think one of the things about patterns is just stating them helps take their power away a lot. So like if I say, oh, the reason I feel like this is because I'm tired and this is my brain reacting to that, it's a lot less powerful and it feels a lot less permanent. Very similar to that one Tumblr post. It's like if you're thinking bad thoughts after 9 p.m., that's just the bad times talking to you, you know? Like, disregard it. It has not passed the committee. It isn't actually your logical brain telling you stuff. It's your little demon brain trying to be a little demon. I think about that a lot. Like, these thoughts are not peer reviewed. It's just my brain being mean to me. Again, I probably should have done a different color for the petals here, but I think it'll look fine. For the sketch layer, I mean. I don't like that. Redo. This is part of why I sketch off stream. It's because you really can't see much of anything. So I feel like it's not very interesting to watch, but I guess part of the reason people come here is to hang out with me and just, I don't know, have some noise on in the background. So sketching also just takes some more thought. So I tend to not ramble as much when I'm doing it. Okay. I also need to decide what color I want to do the pots. I think first we will do some font here. Oh, I have a new brush pen I could be using, but I don't know that I want to use that right now because there's gonna be some brain power involved in that because it's a new tool. Can you actually like draw a line, buddy? Please? Okay, pulling up the wording again so that I get it right. A lot of times when I'm doing typography art and I tape the paper down, I'll write the saying on the tape, but since I'm not doing that, I could literally just put a piece of tape right here and write it down. I don't know why I'm being weird about it. Just do that, duh. You have the technology. Not you. I'm getting a headache. I knew there was a pressure change that was supposed to take place like around now, but it's wild how I can feel it. What kind of font do I want to do for this is the next question. I don't think I want to do anything super crazy, but maybe I'm going to do like a serif font. That's not really the vibe, I think. Maybe I want to do that for stubborn. Sorry, I'm on a font site on my phone looking at stuff to get a vibe. Like a cursive font, I think, for that's you problem. Stubborn and die are going to be emphasized in a different font, I think. I was like, oh, I don't think I'll do anything wild for this, and then immediately I'm picking 35 different fonts. Something like that, actually. Let's do that. Isn't this so exciting? This is what me doing my entire year of lyrics was like. Except I had to do one of those a week, which was like too much, I think. I felt so burnt out on that. Although that is also seasonal affective disorders issue. I was about to say skill issue, which I guess yes, but not really. That isn't even a serif font. What are you talking about? Let's try this. This is where it probably would have been smart of me to like think this through a little bit better, but whatever. It's fine. I could have gotten this like set up before. Okay. So let's do some other planning here. So if you're stubborn enough to die this way, that's a you problem, I think. So let's just block in problem at the bottom here. going from there. It has been a while since I've really done any proper typography. This is probably good for my brain, actually. I really haven't put in as many lines as I would do if I was doing this properly. So this may involve some skudging. That's a technical term, skudging. We'll see how far into this I get. I might do the proper typography off screen. Just get this blocked in and then do the watercolor. And then finish the type off stream, maybe? I don't know, unless that's not the O I wanted to do. Unless people are really vibing with watching me have my face like 3 inches from a piece of paper. Because that is another problem with typography. I will also breathe funny while I'm doing it. This font would actually be, well, I'd want to test it someplace else, but this might be a good trial one for the new pen that I got. Yeah, this is already crooked, and I can tell.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics.
I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me a moment. All right, sneeze accomplished. Yeah, this is turning into more of a project than I thought I was going to do, but also, that's okay. Thank you. Gosh, that's something with modeling that I don't know if other people don't do this. I keep blessing people when they sneeze, and it seems to take them off guard. Because, like, I don't break pose or anything, but I'll just say bless you. It seems to weird people out. Maybe just because they forget that I'm a person. Which is not like a read on anybody. Everybody's been very nice. But when you're focusing really hard on copying something down, you kind of, God, that's so crooked. I'm going to want to redo that. I can block it in and deal with it later. That's the point of this. That's the point of this. I need to stop being so fussy about it. Yay! Congrats, Bean! You can do it though. I believe in you. Oh, vacuuming. Vacuuming is like, I prefer vacuuming over like sweeping though, because at least like the vacuum has wheels, so it helps you out a little bit. Although, yeah, generally speaking, vacuuming is not my favorite task. I do enjoy laundry though. I do enjoy doing laundry, which I actually need to do this week. I should do that tomorrow. I'm gonna change this Y because if I do it the way that it is on this font, it won't fit. So let's do something a little funky. I do actually need to move that R down anyway, so that will work out nicely. Usually I would ink the font before I start watercoloring, That, I should have just said painting. I don't know why my brain did that, but it did. It'll be okay. The font, not my brain being weird. I mean, my brain being weird is also okay because it has to be, but you know what I mean. Ooh, that's exciting. At least it's for like a fun reason. That helps for sure. I also don't like the tea that they have. So I'm going to like take part of it and ignore the rest of it. I'm just gonna do like a this situation. A half curse of Delio. Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best smell. I can agree with that. I do. Sorry, the devil's lettuce always makes me giggle. I just think that's a really funny way to put it. And like, why? Like, I know. How do I phrase this? My brain just like is not doing the do today. The way that like everything fun is established as the devil's whatever is not making me not want to hang out with the devil. I'm just saying. I don't remember if the devil's doorbell was like actually a thing or if somebody was being facetious, but like that too comes up in my head as immediately as like a, well, if that's where all the fun kids are hanging out, then we'll go over there. Oh yeah, that's totally fair. Like I even don't react to it badly, but the smell is still not something I find particularly pleasant. This S is a mess. I hate doing S's. They're the worst. That and E's. Okay, that's better. Okay. This is turning into more of a project, but I'm kinda digging it. That's the wrong one. Do this next. And if I wanted to be like super serial about this, I could use a ruler to do the straight lines, but I kind of don't want to do that. I want it to look handmade. That. Y's in these kind of fonts are also kind of a pain in the butt, but we can do it. I believe in this. I underestimated how much space that would take. That's okay though. These lines were mostly just so that I remember to switch fonts. Yeah, this is maybe not the most thrilling content, but that's okay. We're all doing work together. That's the vibe. I still need to reorganize my stickers since I ordered so many new designs. The way that I was storing my stickers will no longer work. So I've started getting a new box ready, which is always exciting. I do need them to ship my cardstock though, so that I can print the backings. Yeah, no, totally Bean. I have a vape, which I don't use very often because it sets my sinuses off really, really bad. So it's like, do I want to relieve this other pain for like 3 hours and then have to deal with a new kind of pain? It's very much a balance equation for me. I think maybe I'm gonna need to scoot that over a little bit. Or I could just make stubborn stick out. Actually, I came up with a cool idea. We're gonna stick with it. But the edibles are really expensive, but they work best for me. So I think I'm probably gonna ask for some for Christmas. I'll still pay for them, but my brother will go pick them up for me because he's very nice. He's like that. Yeah, see, I'm not going to make my own. That's too many steps. I can't do it. But we have a place up here that sells some. So it's not too bad. And really, I don't ingest enough to make that a really big issue. Like a price issue, I mean. Because really, I just use it if I'm having like a really hard time sleeping or if I'm in a lot of pain, so. Squeeze for those serifs. That's spaced out weird. Let's try that again. Ooh, my back hurts. Which I'm sure is not shocking to anybody. So I didn't express the idea that I had. So I was thinking that I didn't really have enough room for stubborn and enough here with where I've put the stem on this side. So I was thinking I could move this part over. But I think to get the point across a little bit better, I'm actually going to leave too little space for stubborn and have it jutting out. Like it's too stubborn to say that it doesn't fit in the space provided. I think that's going to be a good emphasis, I guess is the word that I really want. Let me just do this really quick so that I can keep track of where those should be. I was close, but it felt way thinner than it should. I hate doing E's. I hate doing E's. I hate doing E's. They're so annoying. Anything where you have to get the curve exactly right is like the worst. So E's and S's are my nemesis when I'm doing font stuff. O's are sometimes a pain, but for the most part they aren't, because either you can draw them by hand close enough or you can use a circle stencil and then it's fine. There, the spacing is much better. That feels good. Also, enough is like a really weird word. Just why are there so many letters there? We don't need all those. This kind of G is also funky, but I think I can do it. I've done it before. It's a little bit too straight. There we go. Then he gets a little quail hat. fun. I can do it though. I got this. These ones are a little bit funky, this font. Like that. Yeah, I've kind of shoved these lines a little too close together for this, but I think it'll be okay in the long run. I can wiggle things a bit. I can make this T shorter for one. That will help. Maybe I actually want to shove that over so that I can get the Y in there. Right. Man, I'm hungry. That's probably what I get for waking up super early. I may get this penciled out and then end stream just because I'm actually hungry enough that I actually want to eat. If I get this font sketched out now, then I can get that done and we can work on this next stream. Or I can work on this in the middle of the week, we'll see. I did mention at the start of stream, I'll mention it again. I'm not streaming on Tuesday because I have a modeling session. I may not stream next Friday too. I'll update on socials with how I'm feeling because I do have another modeling session on Thursday, so I might feel kind of crummy. Yeah, words. What else did I have to say? I have a lot of modeling sessions this week, which is good because it means I get money, but also it's going to make me like super tired and out of it. So maybe not as many places as I normally am this coming week. We'll find out. I will probably post a photo of this when I get some ink done. Because usually what I do is I do for, specifically for font stuff, I'll do a thin layer of ink and just like outline these very briefly, and then I'll do watercolor over the top and then do the final ink over the watercolor because the watercolor does really dull the black. So I do want it to pop. So that's probably how it'll do it. Yeah, I'm trying to be very like, even though I find it frustrating, I'm trying to be very gentle with myself, realizing that I'm doing a lot more physical stuff than I have done in a really long time, and my body doesn't like that, so I need to like respect that even if I don't like it. Which is a hard thing to deal with. Where did I just set that pencil? Why am I like this? I just had it. Is it on the table and I'm blind? Did I just set it down while I was stretching? Did I put it in my pocket? I did put it in my pocket. That's so stupid. I'm wearing a hoodie today, so the pocket ended up with the pencil. Okay. That looks ridiculous. I love it. Okay. Gotta get dye in here and then that's that. Alright. Make it a little bit bigger than the other stuff here. Just a little. I do think I'm going to change the eye. I don't like that one. I think that this way is kind of messed up. I think I want to move that's a U problem further down so that that's all feels more like one line. So let's try that again. Way back over there. Also, if I had realized I was going to be doing this typography so intense, I would not have done it on cold press paper, but we're here and this is happening now. Go back over here. Then we redo. That's a U problem. Which I really should have started at the top if I was thinking it through, but I wasn't. Such is the way. Okay. So let's do, if we're gonna do this properly, let's get our top line in here. I actually have been streaming a reasonable amount of time. I guess I just feel like I haven't because I haven't been streaming as much lately because I'm tired. I'm just a sleepy little baby. breath when I make lines. Breathe, bitch, breathe. I don't know why I'm so bad about that, but I really am. Gotta say, when I bought these mechanical colored pencils, I thought I was being a little bit silly, that I was never going to use them. They're actually one of the most useful purchases that I've gotten. I have a problem with getting like a lot of art supplies that I think are cool and then not using them, but these ones have been really good for sketching stuff out before watercolor, because the graphite really like shows through because it's very dark, but the color really isn't as intense. So it's really good for when I don't want to do strong line art. So I'm very glad that I already had these. I do want to get some different white gel pens too. So there's another brand that an artist I've been watching likes. And she did like a little TikTok showing the difference between the brands on a specific kind of paper, and I was like, oh, well, those are like a lot better, so maybe I should try those. They aren't super expensive either. But I always feel like, well, I have something that works fine, but something that works fine and something that will make my life easier are two different things. And I think that for a lot of stuff, I really need to, like, yes, I should watch my spending, but also, oh, I could also drop that. That works. If there's a product that will make my life easier, there isn't really a reason to suffer with the one that I have just because it's already there. Like, it's kind of like the sunk cost fallacy of art supplies. Because, like, suffering through isn't going to make it easier. All right, I'm happy with that. I think I'm gonna do the light skinny black over this before I end, just because that way I can focus on doing other stuff and not worry about it too much. This won't take super long, but I will be weirdly quiet and breathe weird, and then I'll end stream, I think. Maybe I'll work on this over the weekend. Because getting a little bit done early would be good. I feel like I kind of squished all of my color and focus to the end of the month last month, and it kind of stressed me out a little bit. So if I could do something that's a little bit more spread out, I think that will help me brain. Help me brain, that's a word. Yay, good job, Bean. I'm especially glad that I decided to not tape this down because it means I can take it with me. So I didn't spell check this before I started inking. I probably should have, but I guess I typed it. It would have told me if it was really off. I don't think it's off. But sometimes when you're doing lettering, you really don't read stuff. Let me just type it in my phone again before I continue, just to make sure, because now I'm paranoid about it. Did spell everything right. Okay. Sometimes you just gotta check. Because I have definitely made spelling errors when I was inking stuff before. If you were Patreon, you would know where. Because in my progress posts for Patreons, I let them in on little secret mistakes that nobody else gets to know. I need to get better at like actually plugging myself. I really don't do that very much. I really need to do better about it on social media. Like I'll post art and stuff, but I won't say like link in bio or whatever very often just because I forget. I don't think about it. I think partially because I'm the kind of person where if I like something, I immediately go and check to see if this person has a shop or whatever. I definitely skipped an entire word just now. That's okay. But it is pretty funny, I think. There is a thing too where a lot of my traffic comes from Tumblr because that's like where I'm most active and where I have a biggest community and that kind of stuff, because I've been there for ever. I think my first account I started in 2011, and the one that I have now I also started in 2011, but like a couple months after the first one. What was I saying? Words? Oh, the thing about Tumblr is that you don't see the traffic come through because the way that they track clicks is very different from anywhere else, i.e. they don't really track it onto other websites, so it doesn't show up as proper clicks. So you really can't see your accurate numbers for Tumblr, which, to be clear, I think this is a good thing. I don't think I should be able to see where exactly everybody has come from. I think think that's an invasion of privacy that we've become weirdly okay with as time has gone on. But it does make tracking where you're most successful really weird, which I don't think I should have to track it that way, but you know how it be. I love how I got this water from my watercolor that we were going to do, and then I promptly just made this into a way more complicated project than it was going to be. Oy. When my stickers get here, we might do a sticker packing stream. Just because I need to get that done. And I don't know, I guess it's also a good project for when I'm watching other people's streams and stuff, because it's not super involved, so I can like drop it and mod or whatever else I need to do. But it's also a little bit more fun when I have company, I think. I don't know that that's like, I don't know, maybe we'll do a co-working stream. Because after this week, the semester is over, so I won't have any more modeling for a few weeks, like past the holidays. So maybe I'll be able to stream a little bit more consistently. At the very least, not have to be like, oh, sorry, I'm disappearing for a week. Which is kind of what I feel like I've been doing. Which again, I know y'all would rather I take care of myself. That is a separate annoyance. I don't like my schedule changing in general. And one of the good things about this job is that it's a little bit more flexible, so I can say, no, I can't work this time, and they'll actually respect that, which is really good, but also it kind of goes the other way too, where I might get told like immediately that I need to be someplace. I will have a little treat. Thank you, stars. I'll do a yellow. A yellow. But like, I really, like, if something changes that day that I didn't think about possibly changing beforehand, my entire mental health goes down the toilet, and it's really annoying. Like, it's not even a try to, like, I do try to accommodate it by realizing that people are allowed to change their schedule. It's not like a slight on me or anything like that. So for people who often change their schedule, I can say in my head, okay, if this is happening, then I do this. If this is not happening, then I do this. And that's fine. But for like that thing where I didn't know if I was working or not, which changed my entire day schedule, that drove me crazy. Thank you, Bean. I will do a sip. Slurp. I think I did that loud enough for you to hear. I don't know. It's like, I understand my brain to some degree. Like I can plan for certain things like that. I can plan around it. I can accommodate myself a lot of the time, but sometimes it's also just like, I wish my brain would fucking work. Because like, ugh. It gets really frustrating to have to deal with the same thing all the time. It's like, other people don't have an entire meltdown if their schedule changes. Why can't I not have a meltdown if the schedule changes? And I seriously have always been like that. Always, since I was little. And people still think I'm being difficult, but I'm not. It's just the way my brain works, or doesn't work, depending on who you ask. And I also, though, really don't think I'm being unreasonable when I say that I need a little bit more warning before I need to work. For some reason, I say for some reason, we know why. We know why. For some reason, wink, wink, schedules for a lot of jobs have gotten worse and worse in that they feel like they don't really need to tell their employees when they actually need to work. So like even my brain just short-circuited. Even at other jobs that I worked that were supposed to give you, like legally supposed to give you a schedule X amount of time in advance, it just doesn't happen. And then they expect people to jump in and cover a shift or whatever with like no warning because they didn't warn anybody else. So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm beating the same horse of capitalism all the time, but it's almost like it affects all of our lives all the time. Weird how that works. Okay, we have actually streamed about how much I would like to stream in a normal day. So, and we did get a good amount of work done today. So here's where we're at. I do like how this part looks on the ramen. I do need to work on the bowl. The bowl feels very bleh to me. So I'll work on that, think about it, stew on it a bit. Ramen on it a bit. That does not have the same connotation. That I also mispronounced that word. Whatever. It's fine. So I will work on that a bit. Yeah, that texture I do not like. So I am liking this better. It does still need more work. I like where we're headed with this. Again, still needs more work, but we're getting there. Where did I set my phone? There it is. I will take a photo of this and figure out where we're gonna stream. Stream? Braid. I know words. No, I don't. My brain has never known a word in its entire life. Let me look. See who is live. Jick did just say that he was going to stream today, which is nice. I have a lot of horror games today. That's not really the vibe I'm feeling. Let's see. Sky is live. I also have artist who's doing just chatting today who's live, who is kind of cute and we haven't rated before. Sky's playing a game that has a lot of light variations in it that makes my head hurt. So we're gonna go with this other person we haven't rated before. And I haven't really hung out there like vocally before, so they don't know who I am. We will go in surprise and see how it's going over there. Let me get this pulled up before I forgore, because I have definitely done that before. And then I'm not in the stream when we actually raid and it's very awkward. So let me do that. This is nothing I need to deal with at the moment. Go away. I guess I can put this away. I do have some cleaning up to do because we used a lot of tape today. And I have a bunch of dirty towels covered in yellow paint. Words and things that I usually say. I miss one stream and now I don't know what to do with myself. thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and chatting, and I'm glad that we could help you get some work done, Bean, and I hope that you just slap the rest of that work out of the sky and slam dunk it into a good time. I don't know what that sentence meant, but you know what? That's fine. Oh, I should also actually start the raid before I start rambling. That would be a smart thing to do. They are an 18 plus stream. I haven't been there before, but their art is like super duper cutesy. Can I type? Kind of. And we do have the messy hand emote now, but I haven't set up a proper raid alert or a raid message or anything, so let's not worry about that. Let me switch over to the ending screen while I do a little bit of a rambly at you. So yeah, thank you for being here. Thanks for being patient with me while my schedule is really in flux. I really appreciate how supportive and kind all of you are being with that, because as previously mentioned, the schedule stuff really frustrates me personally, and I'm really glad that people are being really understanding with me. I very much appreciate that, because it helps me be a little bit more understanding with myself around all that stuff. I will see you next Friday, most likely. If not, I will post on socials as soon as I know that I'm not going to be able to do that. There won't be a Tuesday stream, so Friday is our next possibility to see each other here, but I'll be around on the internet in other places too. So everyone, take care of and be kind to yourselves. If you can't do that for yourself, please do it for me, because I think you're awesome and deserve nice things, including from yourself. And I will see you around the interwebs. Bye.
We'll drag you out.